India's economy over the past few years has surpassed many expectations. Prime Minister Modi, at times a controversial figure in global news, has nonetheless played a crucial role in driving several reforms aimed at enhancing economic growth and improving infrastructure. The economy is now recording huge growth, yet there's an outlook that many are now expecting of India. India's G20 Sherpa Amitabh has stated that India is going to be the third largest economy, surpassing both Japan and Germany by 2027. But as he said, their ambition should be that by 2047, they would become an economy worth over $35 trillion. The per capita income of every single individual would also reach over $18,000. That is a huge increase considering India's per capita income sits only at $3,000 and their GDP at $4 trillion. If India were to reach such a status, their citizens would become some of the richest people in the entire world. Today, their billionaires are already at the top of Asia and the world's richest. In 2047, if the economy were to reach such heights, would we see Indian billionaires to actually be the richest? Well, in reality, this is still a dream. There is no guarantee that India will become a $35 trillion economy. Sherpa said that for India to reach such a status, the economy must grow 9 to 10% year after year for the next 3 decades. Has there ever been a country that reaches such heights? Well, yes, there have been examples of countries achieving rapid economic growth over extended periods, though sustaining such high growth rates at 9 to 10% annually for 3 decades is exceedingly rare. China, for instance, experienced remarkable economic expansion from the late 1970s into the early 21st century, maintaining near double-digit growth rates for several years. This growth transformed China into the world's second-largest economy. However, such growth is not without its challenges and risks, including environmental degradation, rising inequality, and the potential for economic overheating. For India to achieve its ambitious goal, it will require a multifaceted approach. This includes continued investment in infrastructure, fostering innovation, improving educational standards, and ensuring inclusive growth that benefits all segments of society. India's demographic advantage, with a large and young population, could be a significant asset in this journey. Additionally, the digital revolution, where India has already made significant strides, can be a crucial lever for economic growth. Furthermore, it also emphasized the importance of nurturing major corporations in India, highlighting their crucial role in driving the country's economic growth. He pointed out that large companies not only increase industrial output, but also promote the development of supply chains in smaller cities, contributing to regional growth and job creation. Given India's current economy, valued at USD 3.60 trillion, realizing these objectives may demand a joint effort from both governments and private sectors. Speaking at the Times Now Summit, Kant provided insights into India's strategic path towards becoming an economic powerhouse by 2047. He underscored the need for consistent high growth rates, reforms at the state level, and corporate expansion as fundamental to this ambitious path of prosperity. Another important person who is known as India's Executive Director at International Monetary Fund, IMF, Krishnamurthy Venkata Subramanian, said that India's economy can grow at 8% every year until 2047. Subramanian highlighted the necessity for India to bolster its domestic economy, noting that domestic consumption accounts for about 58% of the nation's GDP. He pointed out the opportunity for growth, emphasizing that job creation can drive higher consumption. The emphasis was also on the importance of supporting the manufacturing sector to generate employment. Furthermore, he identified key areas needing reforms, including land, labor, capital, and logistics. Subramanian also underscored the need for changes in the banking sector to facilitate credit availability for the manufacturing industry. He believes that by intensifying and speeding up the reforms implemented in the past decade, India has a potential to sustain an 8% growth rate up until 2047. Another figure who is known as Shri Piyush Goyal, the Union Master of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and Textiles, discussed the Indian government's goal of transforming India into a fully developed country by 2047. Shri Goyal emphasized the government's plans to expand India's economy from its current 3.7 trillion to 30 to 35 trillion by 2047, while also focusing on national food and energy security. Shri Goyal praised Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's efforts in simultaneously reinforcing India's macroeconomy foundations and prioritizing the well-being of the impoverished in areas such as food, healthcare, and education. He credited the Prime Minister's comprehensive approach and effective governance over the past decade for India's rise from the world's 11th to the 5th largest economy, with a trajectory set to become the 3rd largest by 2027. According to Shri Goyal, the current administration has significantly reformed the nation's macroeconomic landscape. He noted that India now poses the world's fourth largest foreign currency reserves, a doubling since 2014, and a robustly performing currency among developing nations. He also highlighted the past decade as India's most successful in its 75 years of independence, marked by halved inflation rates over the last 12 years, which has stabilized the economy and maintained controlled interest rates. Sri Goyal also reflected on the challenges faced by the government upon assuming power in 2014, inheriting an economy in disarray with global reputation concerns. He remarked, "We inherited a broken economy, deep in distress, and a poor reputation around the world for the India growth story and its ability to play a part in geopolitics." But anyway, do let us know what you think down in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.